What's up guys, my name is Augustine, I'm a musician and a big fan of Queen, and in today's video I'm going to show you the house of one of the greatest musicians of all time. I'm talking about Freddie Mercury. So now we are outside the Royal Albert Hall. Behind me you can see the Albert Memorial here in Hyde Park, and we're only a 20-minute walk from Freddie's house, so let's go! We are now in South Kensington. It's a very beautiful neighborhood. All the houses here are really expensive, and it's also very close to central London. The Royal Borough of Kensington and Chelsea is famous for being a much-loved living location for celebrities. Richard Branson, Elton John, Robbie Williams and Jimmy Page are among stars who have homes here. So we made it to Garden Lodge, the last residence of Freddie Mercury, where he lived from 1985 until his death on the 24th of November 1991. The house was built in 1908. It was designed by the architect Ernest William Marshall, and it was built in the Neo-Georgian style. It is 2-story high and it has 8 bedrooms and an attached studio. Freddie Mercury bought the house for £500,000 in cash, and now it's worth around £20 million. In the beginning, Garden Lodge was host to massive parties and late-night recording sessions in the studio. As Freddie's health got worse, he began to spend less and less time performing and on camera, and he started to spend more time here at home in Garden Lodge. Contrary to his flamboyant stage persona, Freddie Mercury's home life was secluded and private. This is reflected in Garden Lodge, which is surrounded by 8-foot-tall stone wall that shield the house and garden from view. The house stands behind an expansive walled Japanese garden. Freddie was particularly fond of Japanese art and had encouraged his last boyfriend Jim to create the garden, which is still filled with multicolored roses and flowering trees. As you can see, there's 2 doors, one is not in use and the other one used to be the studio door, and now it says deliveries. One of the interesting things about this house is that it's right in the middle of the city. A lot of famous musicians buy their mansions far away in the outskirts of the city, but Freddie Mercury bought his mansion in the heart of South Kensington, very close to central London. Mary Austin had been the rockstar's lover for 6 years before he decided he preferred male partners. Shortly before his death, he became anxious to provide her and her 2 children with some security. For that reason, he decided to leave her his most prized possession, his dream home. Having agreed to be the godfather of her eldest son, Richard, he liked the idea of his house becoming the family home. It now is. It's easy to see how much he thought of her.
And finally he asked me if I wanted to go out on a date.
And it was a very emotional attachment for the 2 of them immediately, I know. 5
months later, we were living together and continued that for, I don't know, 6 years, I think.
They were very sweet. They were like a little married couple. This was obviously true love.
Yes, to me it was a marriage. She's my common law wife. We carry on now as like we were married. So it's marriage is a term for other people. We believed in each other and fuck everybody else.
I think it's probably fair to say that she was the love of his life.
Mary inherited the Georgian mansion and all the furniture within, including the grand piano where Freddie wrote many of Queen's smash hits. Mary urged Freddie to put the house and its content in trust, but he wanted her to have it. Mary admits she still keeps the decor and furnishing exactly as they were when Freddie died. She says he had impeccable taste, so why change it? Mercury was cremated and his ashes were interred in a secret location that Mary states she will never disclose. Without a gravesite at which to pay their respects, fans came to number 1 Logan Place to mourn. The stone walls were soon covered with letters and memorabilia. The stone walls have recently been cleaned up with no sign of graffiti or letters by Freddie's fans. Garden Lodge's new back door warns that graffiti is a crime and points out that security cameras are in operation. Years ago, the walls were covered with acrylic panels, so the fans used to leave letters and flowers between the walls and the acrylic, but every time it rained, it was a mess, so Mary Austin decided to take off the panels and keep the walls clear. I'm pretty sure this is why we can see a difference in the color of the bricks here.
I think that if John Lennon is entitled or has received the honour of having a memorial in Liverpool and one in New York, I can't see why Freddie can't have. The local authority in Kensington have backed off. They feel that it would maybe attract the wrong type of people. They're a bit intimidated by the whole idea, which really doesn't help the fans at all. They have nowhere to go.
Fans at his home in West London mourned the British star to have died.
And I don't think that the wall surrounding the house is quite the place that the fans would like to come to. They would like something a little bit more fitting. Be that in Kensington Tube Station, I don't know, Town Hall, Holland Park, Wembley.
Until such a memorial exists, the walls around Freddie's former London home have become a place of mourning for fans around the world.
Sadly, this is not just the place where Freddie Mercury lived for a few years, but also the place where he died in November 1991, one day after making public his terrible condition.
Freddie Mercury, the flamboyant frontman of the veteran British band Queen, died Sunday in his West London mansion. He died peacefully at age 45 of bronchopneumonia brought on by AIDS. Mercury had lived as a recluse the last 2 years and made no public appearances earlier this year to promote Queen's last album, Innuendo. His death came just one day after he issued a statement to the press confirming that he had AIDS, ending many months of rumor and denial. The latest denial came only 2 weeks ago in the wake of Magic Johnson's admission that he is HIV positive. In the statement Mercury issued only 24 hours before his death, he said, "I felt it correct to keep this information private to date to protect the privacy of those around me. However, the time has now come for my friends and fans around the world to know the truth. And I hope everyone will join with me, my doctors, and all those worldwide in the fight against this terrible disease." On Monday, the members of Queen, Brian May, John Deacon, and Roger Taylor, issued a statement on Mercury's death, reading in part, "We feel overwhelming grief and sadness that he is gone, but above all, great pride in the courageous way that he lived and died."
So, that was pretty much it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching until the end. I hope you liked it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. You can also follow me on Instagram, and you can subscribe to my YouTube channel if you want to watch more videos like this. There's also a PayPal link that you can use if you want to support me with a small donation. That would be really, really appreciated. That's pretty much it for now. See you in the next one. Bye.